A press brake is a machine pressing tool for bending sheet and plate material, most commonly sheet metal. It forms predetermined bends by clamping the workpiece between a matching punch and die. Typically, two C-frames form the sides of the press brake, connected to a table at the bottom and on a movable beam at the top. The bottom tool is mounted on the table, with the top tool mounted on the upper beam. We want to explain each method, then provide a comparison between roll forming and press brake bending process. Roll forming and press brake are two processes with the same result. In sheet metal fabrication, while you can see the bend, it's often not clear which method was used. However, roll forming and press braking are very different ways of getting the same result, and their economics are completely different too. Press brake bending. Press brake is a machine pressing tool for bending sheet and plate material, most commonly sheet metal. It forms predetermined bends by clamping the workpiece between a matching punch and die. Features press brake bending. Press braking is efficient and cost-effective. Small volumes and with shorter part lengths. Larger orders get expensive very quickly. Unable to handle longer parts. Brake press is normally easier to set up. Brake press tooling is normally less expensive than roll forming or stamping. Difficult to provide value-added features like holes or punched shapes during the process. Press braking is not a sensitive process. The force of the die shaping the metal often leaves scrapes on sheet metal. If appearance doesn't matter for your application, you won't need to worry about this as much. In press brake, a long thin blade pushes the flat sheet down into a V-shaped channel to create a bend. Bending your metal fabrication into shape in automated bending versus manual press brake bending provide more detail. The key points to note for this comparison are: works on individual sheets. Sheet size and bend length are limited by the width of the press brake. Maximum material thickness governed by the length of bend in the tonnage of the machine. Metal roll forming. Here the metal is shaped by pulling it through pairs of rollers. One roller supports the underside, the other acts on the top surface. Each pair is matched and shaped to provide a little more deformation. For example, the bottom roller might have an hourglass profile, while the upper roller would be football-shaped to push the metal down into the waist of the hourglass. On each pair, the geometry is increased a little more, until the last pair produces the final shape required. In a sense, metal roll forming is similar to extrusion. It produces a long length with a uniform cross-section. Using more complex roller shapes, it's possible to put in multiple bends. Key points to note about metal roll forming are: works on a continuous coil, not sheet. No limit to the length of bend. Bends must all be in the same direction. Profiled lengths are cut to size after forming. Roll forming is sometimes confused with roll bending. Don't make this mistake. Roll bending is using 3 rollers to put bends into the tube. Our Eagle CP40H pyramid roll bender does this really well, but it could never do the work of a roll former. Process comparison. The press brake is flexible and very versatile. Almost any bend can be put in practically any orientation. In contrast, metal roll forming works on long lengths of coiled material. And like extrusion, the shaped pieces then need cutting to length. This makes it a process for higher volume production, while press braking is more of a low to medium volume process. Brake press material must be sheeted, slit and cut to length prior to forming any profile, whereas, with roll forming, the material is fed via coil. Production efficiency. Resource utilization is the standard key performance indicators that measure an organization's manufacturing success. There are no constraints within a linear roll form process as the finished product is completed in a single pass, thus maximizing your equipment efficiency and filtering the savings directly to your customer. In addition to production efficiency, the maintenance of part quality is critical to any customer delivery. While press braking has slight advantages with respect to end flare and pre-pierced hole locational tolerance, it cannot maintain the same level of profile tolerance that a roll form process will achieve. Complex profiles can easily be formed through the single-pass linear roll form process, whereas press braking has limited capability to accommodate complex bends. That is, a press brake part can only be bent so many times. For getting more information, please subscribe us.